The biggest change I made in my customer's horse business recently wasn't a new marketing trick or a new program. It was this: I had them stop taking every horse that called. Their stress dropped, their profit went up, and they wish they had grabbed me years earlier and said that out loud. If your current rule is basically they have a horse and a checkbook, I'll find a way to fit them in, and you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and still not making what you should, then this is for you. I'm not going to give you a 27-point intake checklist. I want to show you what changed and why it worked so you can decide how to apply it in your own barn or practice. If you're new to my channel, my name is Curtis Andriotti, founder of the Horse Business Profit Club. After working with over 2,000 horses and many horse businesses over the last 9 years, I created a simple, stable profit system so horse people can feel financially safe without adding more horses or more hours. For a long time, my customer's business model was often every call equals a maybe yes. Every maybe yes equals I could probably make this work. So they ended up with horses they weren't excited to work with, owners who didn't respect time boundaries or payment, and schedules that made no sense. There's constant low level anxiety about injuries, drama, and burnout. From the outside, it looked like demand, but from the inside, it felt like quicksand. The money looked okay on a good month, but emotionally, mentally, and physically, they were paying a much bigger toll. Here's the perspective that changed and flipped everything for them. Not every horse that can pay you should be allowed to shape your life. So they stopped asking, can I technically fit this horse in? And started asking, does this horse and this owner belong in this version of this business that they actually want to run? And when they look back honestly, they saw a pattern. The biggest emergencies, the worst boundary issues, the most unpaid time, all came from the same kind of horses and owners. They were the ones that had been saying yes to because they were scared to say no. So they changed what a yes even meant. And here's three filters that change all their businesses. So I'm not going to hand you my exact questions because your discipline, market, and limits are different. But here are the filters that I had them started using and why they matter. First, safety and skill match. They stopped taking horses that needed more physical space, staffing, or expertise than they had, or whose issues were outside of their lane. And why this worked. The wrong horse can eat more time, attention, and risk than three right horses combined. Saying no here protected their energy, kept them insurance from becoming a horror story. Owner alignment. They started paying attention to how owners talked about previous barns, trainers, or practitioners, how they reacted to basic boundaries around time and money, and why this worked. Owners who violated small boundaries over the phone will violate big ones in your barn, your schedule, and your bank account. When I only said yes to people who respected the rules, my days got calmer and my collection issues went down. I stopped bending my entire business around one horse. Custom plans that didn't fit any of my existing structures. One off exemptions that required new workflows just for them. And why this worked: the horses and clients that fit my existing offers were cheaper to serve, easier to schedule, and more profitable without them doing more work. So, what happened when I started saying no? When I started turning down the wrong horses and owners, my total headcount dropped a little. My stress dropped a little. My profit per slot went up. Why? Because there were fewer fires, fewer free hours given away, and less emotional drag. More time and attention for the horses and clients who were a match. I didn't become the cold or uncaring. I became a better steward of the business that was supposed to take care of all of us. So if your barn or schedule feels like chaos, it might not be because you need more clients. It might be because you've never decided who doesn't get to be one. You don't need my intake script. You need to decide what kind of horses you can help best, what kind of owners you can partner with, and what kind of business you're willing to run for the next 5 or 10 years. Then start acting like that version of you is already in charge. When I did that, when my customers did that, I stopped taking every horse and they stopped taking every horse that called. Their stress dropped, their profit went up. And for the first time, their businesses started to feel like something they could actually live with, not something they were constantly trying to survive.